Credit. Everyone knows about it, but do they really? Tons of people think that debt is a bad thing, but when you use credit the right way, so many doors can be opened up for you. With the following lesson, you'll be let in on the secret wonders of credit, and by the end, you should understand how to make smart decisions regarding credit and be able to set yourself up for success in the future. So, let's get credit-wise. Some of the most important things to understand about credit include what credit actually is, why credit should even matter to you, and how to build and use credit correctly. Emphasis on the correctly. So, what is credit? The biggest indicator of your credit handling capabilities is your credit score. Your FICO credit score, as they call it, is a number that reflects how well you handle debt. Credit scores are influenced by a few different factors. We will follow a Credit Karma profile to see a visual example of how credit is broken down. So how is this mysterious credit score calculated? 35% of your score is influenced by your payment history, which is how well you make your payments on time, or at all. 30% is influenced by your credit utilization rate, which is how much of your credit limit is used at the end of a period. As long as your credit utilization rate is under 30%, you should be in good shape. Anything over 30 is seen as risky and could drop your score. 15% is influenced by your credit history, which is how long you have had credit taken out in your name. The longer the history, the less risky creditors view you as, and the higher your credit score will be. 10% is influenced by new credit, and finally, the last 10% is influenced by types of credit, which could include credit cards or even loans. So why do all these things matter, and why is credit even important? The credit score that is attached to your name says something about you to creditors and lenders. If you have a higher credit score, you appear as less of a risk to lenders because you keep all of the factors that affect your credit score in check, and especially, you make your payments on time. Basically, lenders feel like they can trust you to pay them back what they lent you since you have a history of being responsible with debt. Also, with a higher credit score, you can receive lower interest rates on major purchases such as a house or car, which would ultimately save you money in the long run. Your credit score is extremely important. Even though it's just a single number, it could be your key to getting that loan you need to buy a home. So what would happen if you had a terrible credit score? Creditors might feel like you're too big of a risk. Best case scenario with a terrible credit score, you get a loan with a high interest rate. Worst case scenario, lenders can deny you your loan because they aren't willing to take a chance on you. That is why it is so important to keep your credit score in check and continue to build it over time. And that brings me to my next point. How do you build and use credit the right way? Whether you're new to credit and just beginning to build it, or you've made irresponsible decisions with credit in the past and need to rebuild it, all of the steps are the same when building your credit score. It'd probably be helpful to understand how to gauge what a good credit score actually looks like on the credit scale. Obviously, the overall goal is to have excellent credit. Any score that is 730 and above is considered excellent. Scores between 700 and 729 are considered above average. Scores between 670 and 699 are considered good. Scores between 585 and 669 are considered fair. And finally, scores 584 and below are considered poor, and no one wants that. You definitely want to aim to have at least good credit for now, and hopefully you can reach excellent over time. Now that you know what good credit looks like, here are a few tips that will put you in control of your credit score. Number 1 on the list, and number 1 in your heart, is to pay your bills on time. I can't stress this enough. This is the biggest factor that influences your credit score. Even if you just do this step alone, you'll still build up your credit since it carries such a huge weight. Number 2, don't use credit if you know that you can't pay it back. This will cause you to be late on your bills or even be unable to pay them, and it'll just be a snowball effect from there. Number 3, only use a small percentage of your credit limits. The less you use, the less risk you'll appear as to lenders, and that will boost your credit score. Remember, the magic number is 30% or less. Number 4, let your credit cards age. Obviously, you can't take active steps to speed this one up, but the longer you keep credit open in your name, the higher your credit score will go. And number 5, just a little bit of common sense. Don't let your significant other pull you down. Make sure you openly express your financial situation and credit usage with them, because when you guys apply for a home loan, the lower of the credit scores between the two of you is the one that will be taken. And you could be screwed no matter how responsible you've been with your own credit. So there we have it. That's the idea of credit. Now that you've been enriched with the knowledge to take control of your credit and your financial future, I hope you'll go out into the world and make smart financial decisions. And please, do not get yourself into this situation.
Go answer the phone! It might be a debt collector!
Hello? It's Derek Smee.
The list! Get the list! Get the list! Find the list! I think it's not over here. It's here! Okay, Bloomingdale's. I in hospital with clinical depression.
NASCAR detaining Finland no more.
A Visa dead dog.
Derek Smee! All city debt collection. You have to do it.
Hello.
Miss Bloomwood?
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's actually Nod.
Not
She's
Miss Bloomwood.
still recovering from, you know. Okay, so sure, I'll have her call you as soon as
Finland.
she's come back from
Finland.
from
Finland.
Surely she's not still
Thank
too
you.
in
Bye.
capacity.
Ah!
Why do so many of your excuses involve Finland?
Because no one checks up on Finland, Tarky. How am I gonna pay you the rent now?
Well, I'm ripping up your rent check.
No, Seuss. You can't do it again.
It's my apartment. Well, my parents' apartment, but it's my rules.
I'm gonna buy you the biggest present. I am. I know where I'm gonna go. There's a sale on at Macy's.
Turkey?
I'll be at my place.
Thanks, baby. Bex, I'll get the tequila, you get the bills. I'll do this. It can't be that bad. It's just like a Band-Aid. It's gonna be fine. Bex! $200 on Marc Jacobs underwear.
Oh, underwear is a basic human right.
$78 on lavender honey.
I felt sorry for the shop assistant. She had a lazy eye. I didn't know which way she was looking.
She was looking at me. It was so sad. I can't even talk about this one. A foot spa. What were you doing at a foot spa?
Let's take a break.
They said I was a valued customer. Now they send me hate mail.
Bex,
Oh, God.
How are you gonna pay off $16,162.70 with no job?
I could win the lottery.
maybe you should have a backup plan.